Kindergartners, today you need your pencil box, your book, and you need your cubes. All right, guys, today we have lesson 4.5, problem solving compare by matching sets up to 10 items. So there are just going to be lots of little stories here where it asks us a question, and we're going to be thinking about that question. And the big question here is, how can you solve problems, answer questions about stories using the strategy make a model? So today we're using cubes for our models, and then we also might be drawing. Now, I only have 8 cubes. Do you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? You guys should have 12. You should have a third row of 4 cubes. I don't have that. You need to have 10. So for this job right here, I'm going to write this number 10 up here. Get 10 cubes. And set those 10 cubes up into 2 trains. Obviously, yours will not look like mine, will they? Because I only have 8. You need to do it with 10. Set it up with 2 trains of cubes. And then draw your trains of cubes. So maybe they'll be equal. Maybe one will be really short and one really long. However you want to set it up. Draw your trains of cubes. And then, after you draw it, you're going to write, is one of them greater and the other one less? If that's true, then write greater by the one that's greater and less by the one that's less. Maybe this one up here is less and this one is greater. If so, then write that. Or maybe they're equal to each other. That's another way you could set it up. In that case, put equal next to each one. All right, guys, again here. Now, this is where we have a story, and we're going to make a model to solve it. Now, the story goes, Malia has the red balloons. Andrew has the blue balloons. Who has more balloons? Now, certainly, you guys could easily count that and know which one is more, couldn't you? Because you're that good with math. However, remember, we want to practice strategies with easy problems so that then when we have harder problems, we know how to use the strategies. So we are going to model these. Now, if you happen to have 6 red cubes, that would be a great way to model it. But we're not at school. We don't have all our tools. So we're just going to model it however we can. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go ahead and take your pencil and trace that model as best you can to make it be pretty close to the size of the model. Now, when we trace a train of cubes, it's a good idea to mark in there how many, or else to do like we've done before, right? And set that to the side and kind of draw the lines that would go for each cube. That can help us to sort out how many we've got. And then down here, of course, you're going to draw the number for your total. Now up here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balloons. So instead of a train of 6, now I need to make a train of 7. So I hope you guys are doing this with me. Now, do you see this line here? I was actually supposed to line that up right there, but I didn't. What I really want to make sure I do right here, if I line it up with that, that's going to make this not quite accurate. I want to have it lined up kind of with that. Do you see how it's about that far in? So I'm going to do it down here about that far in again. That way I'm going to really be more accurate when I compare them. So here I go and I trace it. And I'm going to draw the lines again this time to show here's where all those individual cubes are. And then right here, I'll write my number, 7 cubes. And now, of course, this was easy. And you just knew right away that 7 balloons was more than 6 balloons. But we're practicing these strategies with easy ones. And do you see how here, having these models, we can compare the models? And we can see that this model is bigger than this one, right? It goes longer this way than that one does. So we know which one is greater. We're going to circle that number. Again, I know this is easy. I know you could just figure it out. But the point here is not to know, oh yes, 7 is bigger than 6, because you already know that. The point here is to know how to use this strategy. So we practice it on easy problems. All right, so now here, do you see these lines? We are going to use this to line that up properly like I did not do before. So up here, there's a boy named Kyle. And he has 9 tickets. There's also a boy named Jared. And Jared has 7 tickets. Who has more? Now, I know that you just look at this and you know which one is more. But remember, what we're really practicing right now is how to use our cubes to model that. So I have 8 here. I can't even model Kyle's, can I? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm starting over here at this line. Huh, look at that. These are the cubes from this company. So this is most definitely what they wanted us to use to model it. And it doesn't fit, does it? I'm going to go ahead and stick this right up here where I had written it. That way I can fit it. Now what I'm going to have to do, because I don't have 9, and I'm just not just going to do 8 because I don't have 9. That wouldn't be accurate, would it? I'm not going to just say, oh, well, I don't have it. So what I'm going to do instead, here's my 8. I'm going to hold that really firm so it doesn't wiggle. I'm going to squeeze one more off there because you guys, you know, you do math stuff, you know. 8 and 1 more would make 9. So there we go. Now I can add that 1 more in there. And here's my 9. And just for the practice here, I'm going to mark where all my cubes separate. All right. There we go. There's 9, right? So I'm going to put 9 here. And then down here, there's 7. So I'm going to lose this number 9 one. Stick it back here to go be my number 1 again. So here's my 8, right? 4 and 4. All right, take that off. That's going to fit. I can trace this because now I've got 7. I'm going to just mark my cube divisions because, boys and girls, in first grade, there's something we're going to do with bar models, and noticing where the cubes separate is going to be what we need. There's 7, and you can tell which one is greater, right? So you're going to circle the one that is greater. All right, number 3, I'm going to tell you what it is, and you are going to do the drawing and the writing and the circling all on your own. So down here, there's a boy named Bob, and he went to a circus, and he won 8 prizes. You know how you can throw balls at cups and, I don't know, shoot little duckies and things like that, and you get a little prize, kind of like the fall festival. Then there was a girl, and her name was Jill, and Jill won 5 prizes. So you guys are going to set up your cube trains, just like we did before. Trace them. Again, I don't know why they gave you these numbers, because obviously they meant for you. Maybe you'll have to squish this one up above like we did before. And then you can make your other model down here with 5. Trace it, and whichever number is greater, go ahead and circle it. All right, boys and girls, on the back here, look at the model. Are there more blue cubes or more red cubes? So we're going to make a train for each color. Now, you probably don't have blue and red. If you do, you got lucky, because I know some of you guys have like yellow and green. I want you to choose your darker color to be blue and your lighter color to be red. So this is orange. I'm going to use this for my red. Here's 1, 2 red, and 1, 2, 3 red. Oh dear, and I don't have enough. So then if you guys just have more, go ahead and just stick another one on there. Because, you know, we're not in the classroom with all of our usual materials, but we'll make it work. And then here's 1, 2 blue and another blue. All right. So, of course, you guys probably already knew which one had more. But we're practicing with easy numbers so that when we get to hard numbers, we know this strategy of making a model. So, again, you guys can trace these. You can write how many right here and write how many down here and circle the number that is greater. All right, guys, I know those are pretty easy, but I'm so glad you're practicing with these cubes making this model because, like I said, that's something we do a lot in first grade. So doing it a couple of times in kindergarten first means that when you get to first grade, it's not going to be completely new to make a model with cubes and trace it. All right, we'll do more math tomorrow.